So, good morning, Emma. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. Good morning, Dawn. How are you?
I'm feeling great, thanks. I'm just really pleased to be sharing with you this morning because I know you've got a really important message for our listeners. And, I can resonate with everything you've been through. And I don't think it's a coincidence that we're coming into each other's lives.
No, it's not.
So, my understanding is as we go through life and we learn to deal with something and we find the techniques and the tactics that will help us, we're then ready to help other people.
Yeah, that's very true. I completely agree with that one.
And if we can keep it that simple, everything we go through is important to us.
Yep, I resonate with that too.
Yeah. What often happened in the past, I think for a lot of my life, I spent a lot of my life beating myself up because I felt I kept going wrong. And it wasn't until I was a long way down the road of, my own self-healing, I found out everything I'd been through was a useful tool in my toolbox to help other people.
But then if you don't go through it, you can't understand it or help anybody else. And I think
Absolutely.
we all beat ourselves up. And then I think it comes to a point where you go, I can't do it anymore. And that's when you think, well, what else could I do instead?
Yeah, bless you. And how did, because for yourself, Emma, would you like to tell a brief idea of where you're at when we first met?
Oh, goodness me. When we first met is when we both joined the Heart Brand Academy with Stephen Thompson. And we went for a walk in the woods and it was really beautiful. And you were talking to me about Reiki, and I asked you about my son because he at the time was very angry, and you told me some really good things about how I can control his temper, what I can do to change things, and by doing that he will become calmer. And guess what, he became calmer. And yeah, it gave me time to breathe and to think about things and see it from his point of view as well, which I just wasn't seeing it from. So thank you.
Thank you, Emma. But, I think the right teacher comes in at the right time.
Most certainly. You definitely came in. I remember the crossroads we went to. We were there going, which way shall we go? Shall we go that way, that way, that way? Was that when we got lost, or was that the second walk?
I don't know. I'm always getting lost. So, that was fun though, because we did find our way back.
Yeah, exactly. And it should never take the same path. Quite dull.
Yeah. And I think, that's such an important message for people. If you actually find yourself being lost, just stop and be. Just stop and breathe. Just stop and breathe into your body. And I am safe to be in this place.
Mm.
So if you feel safe in this place, you start sending a message to your mind which says, it's okay, I can deal with this.
Yeah.
And from that place, Emma, I think, that's where we were at when we walk in the woodlands. It was a beautiful day. It was good company, surrounded by nature. And we all need that place to go to sometimes.
Yeah. And I think when you stop and breathe, you calm down your nervous system, which means that you can think more clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see alternative or, solutions to what's going on. Because, just a brief idea for anyone who doesn't understand how I work, my idea is I keep everything as simple as you can and as natural as we can. Okay? So I think about your left brain as your logic, your thinky brain. I'm constantly thinking about how to do this and how to do that and what's gone wrong and what's right. And your right brain is your creative brain. And when we can move from our thinking brain to our logic brain, wrong way around. See, sometimes we won't get it right, and that's okay. Okay, bless you. And it's okay to make mistakes. Sometimes
Yes,
we go wrong.
it is.
But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it big time. Let's just tell the world. But it's okay to just smile and go, okay, that didn't go to plan. So if we go into our logic brain, we can only feel what our mind is telling us. What we need to do is be able to move into our creative brain, which then gives us a solution to how we can deal with the situation.
Yeah, but you've just got to get calm to begin with to be able to think that, because otherwise, your brain just goes into overdrive.
Yeah. And what I'd love to do with Emma in a moment is maybe our next little video, we could do a nice calming little exercise as if we're walking in the woodlands.
That would be nice, yeah.
And just so that we can bring our friends in and so they can get that feeling within them. Because most people don't realize that when your mind starts processing, I am in a place where I love, and you imagine that, you get those sensations going through your body and it creates a neurological response of calm.
Yeah. And it's amazing
Yeah.
if you do it every day, the results that you get from that is astounding. It definitely does calm your nervous system. I don't know what you call it, but it's definitely worked with me. And if I don't meditate every day and I don't do some tapping every day, there is a difference. My brain starts like ping, 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 ping. But if I do it, it calms it down, and it's easy to think, and problems are easily solved, and I'm much calmer with the kids. Life is more simple.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we need, is to get back to that simplicity.
Yeah.
Because our mind keeps telling us that we're in a muddle. If we don't consciously change it from that place to that place,
yeah,
we can't see a solution, we can't see a way out.
No.
And somewhere like walking in woodlands or just talking to a friend, writing things down, can make such an impact on the way your mind feels. Then it's been supported.
I like writing things down. You were the one that said to me, Emma, you need to write things down. And I was like, oh yeah, or whatever. And I tried it, and it was amazing to actually see your thoughts on a piece of paper rather than in your brain. It is really helpful. And then you can look at it, and then you can go, well, I'm not quite sure about that. I don't think that's true. Or yeah, that's good. Or yeah, definitely healthier to see it written down than it is in your head.
Yeah, you can be objective. You can sit back and look at it and observe, is this helping me or is it not?
Yeah, definitely.
And from there, you can turn it around. And just for a moment, because, I'm going to keep this brief, but this is something we can do as a workshop later on, because I think we've both got a lot to share with your EFT and with remedies and things like that. What was the impact on you helping yourself on your son, Zach?
Oh, just so much. It made life better and calmer and happier and harmonious at home. It just meant I wasn't in this crazy whirlwind of like, oh my God, you've broken something else. And then I go into overdrive of like, wow. Now it's just like, okay, let's sit down. Let's talk about this. Let's not do that. Let's think about it from a different point of view. It's just made me think calmer and better. And there are days like we're trying to get ready for school, when we have to kind of get ready for school. But it's not as bad as it was, and everybody's so much happier. His reading, oh my goodness, his reading has come on so much. I mean, that was a little bit of bribery to do with the Xbox, but he has done really well, and Daisy's just thriving as well, and life is just happier.
Brilliant. Well done, Emma. And it all began with you. And I can so relate to your story, because I spent a lot of years feeling distressed and thinking it's because my daughter wasn't sleeping or she was crying, she was upset. When I actually started healing myself, it had such an impact on my daughter. It actually turned her life around and my life. And here comes Paul.
Hi.
With chocolate. Okay. Thank you, my darling.
It's been posted.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Bye. Nice to meet you, whoever you are.
All right, love.
Bye.
Spontaneous. Okay. And as we say, sometimes life doesn't go to the plan we expected, but I've got chocolate. Okay.
Bonus.
Okay. Thank you. And I think I'll keep that as it is, because life sometimes takes a topsy-turvy. It goes off on a curve. It goes off on a bit of a bender, and we get upset and we get frustrated with that. If we can actually help by calming ourselves, that impacts on everything else that goes on. Yep. And then if something goes wrong or goes, to a point where you're being challenged by it, you deal with that one thing.
And I also think you need to learn as well. And if you are repeating things, you're just not learning.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. And there is actually a really nice, let's have a look up here. Flower remedy, chestnut bud, which helps you to break patterns. And when you've got time, Emma, I'd love to talk to you more about the remedies, because I think these would be really helpful to people who don't understand how they're feeling.
Yeah.
It helps to turn things around, and it's a natural, gentle process. So thank you for sharing today. And I'm going to keep this brief, because I think, in the future, we've got so much to share. But for the moment, I just want to give people the hope that if something has become congested in your mind, you feel trapped in a situation, there are natural ways that you can get through it.
Definitely.
So thank you for sharing, Emma, and I'm looking forward to doing our little meditation as soon as we've got a few moments.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Emma. Thanks, lovey.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye. Do you want to stop recording?